Another wild weekend in the NFL is over, and we are this close to finding out which two teams will be facing off on the 3rd of February in the Super Bowl. Hi guys, I'm Michelle, and this is the latest edition of Sportsbook Revolution TV, where we highlight the best in sports from week to week and give you a little insight on where to wager your cash on the upcoming action. This is an especially exciting week because I'm happy to announce that our main site, sportsbookrevolution.com, is up and running and ready to take registrations. I'll touch on that in just a moment, but first let me get to the sport that's in the spotlight throughout the rest of the month, the NFL. Well, if you happen to catch the divisional playoff games over the weekend, you certainly weren't disappointed. Both days were full of hard hits, unbelievable comebacks, and last-second victories, and in some cases, double overtime victories. We saw the possibility of a Manning-Brady matchup blown apart by a Ravens team that just never quit, taking it all the way to double overtime to secure a victory against the Broncos and earn the right to get back into the AFC Championship for a second consecutive year. You can bet sportsbooks in Vegas made a bunch of cash as Denver, the overwhelming favorite, had their run of consecutive wins snapped at the worst time for bettors. And if the sportsbooks won big on the Denver game, they probably didn't do so bad on the Green Bay-San Francisco game either, when the Pack and Aaron Rodgers went down later that night. San Francisco, led by the explosive newcomer Colin Kaepernick, absolutely picked apart Green Bay's defense and earned a lot of respect from the sportsbooks going into next week's NFC Championship game, as they are now the favorite in that game. The best part about this past weekend was the fact that as good as the games were on Saturday, they were as equally good on Sunday. And never would that be more true than in the early game of the day that brought the Seahawks in to face the Atlanta Falcons in the Georgia Dome. At first, it looked like absolutely no hope for the Seahawks as they were outplayed in the first half and left with a 20-0 deficit with 2 quarters to go. As if on cue, rookie quarterback Russell Wilson went to work and nearly pulled off one of the greatest playoff comebacks in history. As the final minutes were upon them, the Seahawks found themselves down by 6 points and needed a touchdown to take the win. Can you imagine the home crowd as the Seahawks evened the game with a touchdown and scored the go-ahead extra point to take the lead by 1 with about 30 seconds left in the game? Or can you imagine the home crowd immediately after Matt Ryan's 2 perfectly thrown passes set up the Falcons to win the game with a last-second field goal? Totally amazing and hands down one of the best finishes we've seen in quite some time. Congrats to the Falcons for their win. Now they can turn their attention to a San Francisco team already favored by 3.5 to 4 points in Vegas. The final game of the night featured the Texans against the Patriots. Much like the regular season matchup, there wasn't much happening for Houston. After a decent start, New England began chipping away at the Texans' defense, and before you knew it, they were coasting to an easy 41-28 win. The Patriots advanced to an AFC Championship rematch against Baltimore, and the prediction for Vegas is mostly with New England. In fact, New England now has even odds to win the Super Bowl. Well, we'll see if the Ravens have other plans for them. I am so excited for the games next week, but even more excited for SportsbookRevolution.com. The boys have been working tirelessly over the past few months getting this site going, and this week they are finally ready to rock and roll. If you haven't yet checked it out, go to SportsbookRevolution.com and take a look around. For a low $25 subscription, you'll be able to make wagers on practically every sport on the planet. $25 gets you a month-long membership and a ton of credits to use for placing bets. There are even all sorts of side contests along with the usual action, with everything set up for high cash payouts. And here's the best part, guys, it's 100% legal. Believe me, this is one sports gaming site you won't soon forget. So get in on the action early and start taking your share of some great cash prizes at sportsbookrevolution.com. And of course, don't forget to check in with me each week for the latest sports updates. We'll be back next week with a look back at the conference championships and a look ahead to the Super Bowl and plenty of other big-time sports going on. I'm Michelle, and I'll see you next time. Welcome to the Revolution.